The ceramic cup shatters against the marble floor of the Grand Pearl Hotel's Michelin-starred restaurant, sending shards skittering across the polished surface. Kendra freezes, her hand still extended from where she'd been setting down the customer's coffee. The silence that follows is deafening. Are you incompetent or just stupid? The man's voice cuts through the quiet lunch service like a knife. He's Korean, early 30s maybe, dressed in worn jeans and a plain black hoodie that's seen better days. His dark hair is messy, like he just rolled out of bed, and he hasn't bothered to shave in days. But his eyes, those sharp, angry eyes, pin her in place. I asked for an Americano. Black. No sugar. How difficult is that to understand? Kendra's jaw tightens. She's been working at the Grand Pearl for 3 months now, and she's dealt with difficult customers before. Seoul's luxury hotel scene attracts plenty of entitled rich people who think their money gives them the right to treat service staff like dirt. But something about this man's condescending tone, the way he looks at her like she's beneath him, makes her blood boil. "Sir," she says, keeping her voice level despite the fury building in her chest, "I brought you exactly what you ordered. An Americano, black, no sugar. You knocked it out of my hand before I could set it down." His eyebrows rise, as if surprised she's speaking back to him. Around them, other diners have stopped eating to watch the confrontation. Kendra can feel her manager, Mr. Park's disapproving glare burning into the back of her head from across the restaurant. "Are you seriously blaming me for your clumsiness?" The man leans back in his chair, arms crossed. "Do you know how much I pay to eat here?" "Obviously not enough to buy some manners," Kendra replies before she can stop herself. The words hang in the air like a grenade, with the pin pulled. She sees the exact moment they register on his face, the shock, then something that might be amusement flickering in those dark eyes before his expression hardens again. "Kendra?" Mr. Park's voice cracks like a whip as he rushes over, his face flushed with panic. He bows deeply to the customer. "Sir, I am so deeply sorry. Please forgive her inexcusable behavior. She's new. She doesn't understand." "I understand perfectly," Kendra interrupts, untying her apron. Her hands are shaking, but her voice is steady. "I understand that no amount of money gives someone the right to be cruel. And I understand that I don't want to work somewhere that expects me to accept that treatment." She drops the apron on the nearest table and walks toward the staff exit, her head held high. Behind her, she hears Mr. Park's frantic apologies, the scrape of a chair, the murmur of shocked conversations. She doesn't look back. The morning air hits her face as she pushes through the employee entrance into the alley behind the hotel. Her whole body is trembling now from anger, from the adrenaline crash, from the terrifying realization of what she's just done. She needed that job. Her student visa expires in 3 months, and without employment, she'll have to leave Korea. 3 years of studying hospitality management, all the money her family scraped together to send her here from Lagos, the dreams she built of making something of herself in Seoul, all of it suddenly precarious. "Stupid, stupid, stupid," she mutters, pressing her palms against her eyes. Her phone buzzes in her pocket. Probably Mr. Park calling to officially fire her. But when she checks, it's an unknown number. "Hello? Is this Kendra Okafor?" A woman's voice, professional and crisp, speaks in accented but perfect English. "Yes. This is Han Mi-young from Han Hospitality Group. You applied for a position with us 6 weeks ago. We'd like to schedule an interview for tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., at our headquarters in Gangnam. Are you available?" Kendra's breath catches. Han Hospitality Group, the largest luxury hotel and restaurant empire in South Korea, with properties across Asia. She'd applied on a whim, never expecting to hear back. "Yes," she manages. "Yes, I'm available." "Excellent. Please bring your resume and portfolio. We're looking for someone with fresh perspectives on guest services." The woman pauses. "I should mention, this is for the executive assistant position directly under our CEO. It's quite demanding." "I understand. Thank you for this opportunity." When the call ends, Kendra leans against the alley wall and lets out a shaky laugh. Maybe the universe isn't completely against her after all. She spends the rest of the day and most of the night preparing. She reviews everything she knows about Han Hospitality Group, memorizes the names of their flagship properties, studies their recent expansion into Southeast Asian markets. At 2 a.m., she finally allows herself to sleep, her interview outfit, a navy blue blazer and pencil skirt she bought secondhand, hanging ready on her closet door. The next morning, she stands in front of Han Hospitality Group's gleaming headquarters building in Gangnam, 30 stories of glass and steel that catch the sunrise. Her reflection stares back at her from the entrance doors, a young Nigerian woman with her natural hair pulled back in a neat bun, minimal makeup, highlighting her dark skin, professional but approachable. She can do this. The lobby is all marble and modern art. The elevator ride to the 28th floor feels both too long and too short. When the doors open, she's greeted by a woman in her 40s, elegant in a gray suit, who introduces herself as Han Mi-young, VP of Human Resources. "Thank you for coming on such short notice," Mi-young says, leading her down a corridor lined with photographs of various Han hospitality properties. "We've been searching for the right candidate for months. The CEO is very particular about who works closely with him." "I can imagine," Kendra replies, trying to keep the nervousness out of her voice. The interview panel is waiting inside. "Just be yourself." Kendra takes a deep breath and pushes open the door. The conference room is spacious, with floor-to-ceiling windows offering a spectacular view of Seoul. Four people sit at a long table. Mi-young takes her seat at one end, two other executives she doesn't recognize sit in the middle, and at the head of the table. Her heart stops. It's him, the rude customer from yesterday. Except he's not wearing a worn hoodie and jeans anymore. He's in an impeccably tailored navy suit that probably costs more than her entire year's rent, his previously messy hair now styled perfectly, his face clean-shaven. And he's staring directly at her with an expression she can't read. "Ms. Kendra Okafor," Mi-young says, oblivious to Kendra's frozen state. "Please have a seat." Kendra's legs somehow carry her to the empty chair across from the panel. Her mind is racing. Should she say something? Apologize? Pretend they've never met? Does he even remember her? "This," Mi-young continues, gesturing to the man at the head of the table, "is Han Min-jun, CEO of Han Hospitality Group." Their eyes meet. For a long moment, no one speaks. "Ms. Okafor," Min-jun says, and his voice is nothing like it was yesterday. No anger, no condescension, just smooth professionalism with an edge of something she can't identify. "Welcome. I've reviewed your resume. Impressive academic record." "Thank you, sir." Kendra manages her throat dry. "Tell me," he leans forward slightly, "how do you handle difficult situations? Particularly with demanding clients?" The question hangs in the air. Is he testing her? Mocking her? She can't tell. But she's not going to back down now. "I believe in maintaining professionalism while also maintaining self-respect," she says carefully. "Service industry work is about hospitality, not servitude. The best customer experiences come from genuine interactions, not from staff who are afraid to be human." One of the other executives, an older man, frowns. "That's a rather bold stance. Our clients expect exceptional service. And they should receive it," Kendra agrees. "But exceptional service shouldn't require sacrificing dignity for the staff or the client. In my experience, customers remember kindness and authenticity more than they remember perfection." "Even when those customers are paying premium prices?" Min-jun asks, and there's definitely something sharp in his tone now. "Especially then," Kendra says, meeting his gaze directly. "Premium prices should come with premium treatment on both sides. A truly luxury experience is built on mutual respect." Silence. Mi-young glances between Kendra and Min-jun with obvious confusion. Then Min-jun's lips quirk into something that might almost be a smile. "Interesting philosophy." He looks at Mi-young. "I'd like to speak with Ms. Okafor privately. The rest of you are dismissed." The other executives file out looking bewildered. Mi-young hesitates at the door. "Sir, are you sure?" "Thank you, Mi-young. That will be all." The door clicks shut. Kendra and Min-jun are alone. He stands, moving to the window, hands in his pockets. You recognize me? Of course I recognize you, Kendra says quietly. I didn't realize you were testing the service at your own hotel. I make a habit of it. Checking quality control, seeing how staff treat customers when they think no one important is watching. He turns to face her. Most people are on their best behavior. You are the first person in 3 years who's told me off. Should I apologize for that? Should you? Kendra stands, squaring her shoulders.
No.
Because I meant what I said yesterday, and I mean what I said today. If that's not the kind of person you want working for you, then I respect that. But I won't apologize for having standards. For a long moment, he just looks at her. Then he moves to the conference table, pulls out a folder, and slides it across to her. This is the employment contract for the position of executive assistant to the CEO. Starting salary is $65 million per year, with full benefits, housing allowance, and visa sponsorship. Kendra's eyes widen. I don't understand. You're exactly the kind of person I want working for me, Minjun says. Someone who won't just tell me what I want to hear. Someone who has principles and isn't afraid to stand by them. He pauses. I should tell you, this job is demanding. I expect excellence. I work long hours, and I don't tolerate incompetence. But I also don't tolerate disrespect toward my staff. The person who works as my executive assistant needs to be strong enough to push back when I'm wrong, smart enough to anticipate problems, and diplomatic enough to handle sensitive situations. And you think I'm that person based on one argument in a restaurant? I think you might be. Your academic record shows intelligence. Your work history shows dedication. And yesterday showed me you have backbone. He pushes the contract closer. But more than that, you made me think about something I'd forgotten. About the difference between service and servitude. That's valuable. Kendra looks down at the contract. Why were you really at the Grand Pearl yesterday? The Grand Pearl is one of our newest acquisitions. I'd heard complaints about management issues, staff being mistreated, high turnover rates. I wanted to see it for myself. His expression darkens. Your manager confirmed everything I'd heard. The way he treated you, the way he expected you to accept being spoken to like that, it was exactly the problem. So, I was part of your test.
No.
You were the solution. He meets her eyes. I'm restructuring the management there. I need people who understand what I'm trying to build. A hospitality empire that values its employees as much as its guests.
Kendra picks up the contract.
I'll need time to review this. Take 24 hours. But Kendra? He waits until she looks up. Working for me won't be easy. I'm demanding, I'm particular, and I don't accept anything less than the best.
Can you handle that?
She thinks about yesterday, about walking away from a job rather than compromise her principles. Can you handle being challenged? His smile is sharp and genuine. I guess we'll find out. Kendra starts the following Monday. The first week is a whirlwind of learning the company's complex structure, memorizing names and roles, trying to keep up with Minjun's relentless pace. Her first day lasts from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., and that turns out to be typical. But she also learns that everything he said about respecting staff was genuine. He knows the names of the cleaning crew. He thanks the security guards every morning. When she makes a mistake on her third day, accidentally scheduling a meeting during a Japanese holiday, he doesn't yell. He simply explains the error, shows her how to check properly, and moves on. You're not what I expected, she admits one evening as they're finishing a presentation. Minjun looks up from his laptop. They're alone in his office, the Seoul skyline glittering behind him. What did you expect? Someone more tyrannical. The way you acted at the Grand Pearl was a performance, he finishes. I needed to see how staff were being treated. He closes the laptop. You're right. That's not really me. Then who are you? The question seems to surprise him. Someone who's trying to build something that matters. My grandfather started this company with a single restaurant. My father expanded it. And I inherited it all at 25 when my father died. Heart attack, completely unexpected. That must have been terrifying.
It was.
It still is sometimes. He looks out at the city. I have plans, sustainable tourism, hotels that employ local communities, changing what luxury means. But the board, the shareholders, they want the old way. Cheaper, faster, more profitable. Is that why you need an assistant who'll push back? Everyone else is afraid of me, Min-jun says bluntly. But you weren't afraid at the Grand Pearl. You're not afraid now. Maybe I'm just better at hiding it. He laughs, a real laugh that transforms his face. Maybe. They're standing close now, closer than necessary. Kendra is suddenly aware of how late it is, how empty the building is, how Min-jun is looking at her. It's late, she says, stepping back. We should go.
Right.
Yes. He seems to shake himself. Kendra, thank you. For staying late, for learning quickly, he trails off. For challenging you? For reminding me why I'm doing this. The moment stretches between them. Then Kendra grabs her bag and heads for the door, feeling his eyes on her the whole way. Over the next few weeks, a pattern develops. Long hours together, often alone. They debate strategy, argue over decisions, challenge each other. Min-jun values her perspective, implements her ideas, credits her in meetings. But there are other moments too. When their hands brush passing documents. When he leans over her shoulder to look at her screen, and she can smell his cologne. When she catches him watching her with an intensity that makes her warm. Kendra tells herself she's imagining it. He's her boss. There's a power imbalance. He could have anyone. She's being ridiculous. Then comes the night of the Han Hospitality Gala. It's massive, investors, partners, celebrities. Seoul's elite dressed in designer gowns and custom suits. Kendra wears a simple black dress, nothing like the luxury surrounding her. But Min-jun's eyes find her across the ballroom and stay there. You look beautiful, he says when he reaches her. You have to say that. I'm your employee. I don't have to say anything. I want to. Before she can respond, a woman appears, tall, elegant, Korean, perfect. Everything Kendra is not. Min-jun. She kisses his cheek. It's been too long. Jiwon. Min-jun's voice is polite but cool. I didn't know you'd be here. Mother insisted. Jiwon's eyes slide to Kendra. And who is this? Kendra Okafor, my executive assistant. Kendra, this is Park Jiwon. We were engaged once. The word hits like a blow. Oh, just once. Jiwon laughs. Min-jun, don't be modest. Our families have been planning our marriage since we were children. We broke up 2 years ago, Min-jun says firmly. Engagements can be renewed. Jiwon's smile doesn't reach her eyes, especially when both families agree it's best for business. Excuse us, Min-jun says, his hand finding Kendra's back and guiding her away. He steers her onto a quiet balcony overlooking the Han River. The October air is cold. I should have mentioned her, Min-jun says. Jiwon. We were engaged for 6 months. My mother arranged it, business sense. But it wasn't real. I ended it because I couldn't live my whole life as a transaction. You don't owe me an explanation, Kendra says quietly. Your personal life is none of my business. Isn't it? He turns to face her, fierce. Kendra, Min-jun. A new voice. A woman in her 60s, elegant, steps onto the balcony. I need to speak with you. Privately. Mother. Min-jun's voice is neutral. This is Kendra Okafor, my executive assistant. Kendra, Han Seo-yeon, my mother and board chairman. Kendra bows. It's an honor. Seo-yeon's eyes rake over her.
Yes.
I've heard about you. The foreign girl who insulted my son and was foolish enough to hire anyway. Mother. It's all right, Kendra says. I did insult him. Though in my defense, I didn't know who he was. And if you had known, I would have been more polite, but the substance wouldn't have changed. Something flickers in Seo-yeon's eyes. I see. Ms. Okafor, excuse us. Family matters. Kendra bows and leaves, feeling Seo-yeon's eyes on her back. She doesn't see Min-jun again that night. By midnight, she's home in her tiny Mapo apartment when her phone buzzes. I'm sorry about tonight. About my mother, about Ji-won, about all of it. She stares at the message. She should maintain boundaries. You don't need to apologize. I understand that your world is different from mine. She replied. I don't want it to be. Minjun replied almost immediately. Her breath catches. Before she can think, she calls him. He answers immediately. Kendra. What do you mean? There's a pause. Traffic in the background. I mean, I'm tired of living in a world where everything is about appearances and arrangements. I'm tired of people who only see Han Minjun, CEO. You see me. From that first day, you saw me. Not my title, not my money. You saw someone who needed to be called out, and then someone trying to be better. Minjun. You see me, he continues raw. When I'm with you, I can be honest about who I am. That's not something I've had with anyone. That's my job.
No.
Your job is to manage my schedule. Everything else, challenging me, making me think, making me want to be better, that's who you are. Kendra closes her eyes. This is dangerous. I know. You're my boss. There's a power imbalance. I know, he says again. I've been trying not to feel this way. But Kendra, seeing you tonight, seeing Ji-won act like she has a claim when the only person I wanted was you, he stops. I'm not going to push. But I needed you to know. I need time to think. Of course. Monday? Monday. After they hang up, Kendra lies awake for hours, trying to sort through her feelings. She thinks about his kindness, his intelligence, the way he challenges her, the way he looks at her like she matters. But she also thinks about his mother's stare, Ji-won's certainty, the whispers at the office about the foreign assistant sleeping her way up. Monday comes. There are white roses on her desk with a note in Minjun's handwriting. Take all the time you need. I'll be here. MJ. Someone has an admirer, Mi-young comments. From a friend, Kendra says quickly. The day proceeds normally. Minjun is professional, giving no indication anything changed. But Kendra catches him watching her, and every touch makes her skin tingle. That evening, as she's packing up, he stops by her desk. Dinner, he asks quietly. There's a samjitang place in Insadong. Not as a date, he adds. Just as friends. She should say no. But she's tired of fighting it. Just dinner? I promise. The restaurant is small and cozy, tucked on a quiet side street. They order samjitang, and Minjun shows her how to eat it, laughing when she burns her tongue. I've lived here 3 years and never been to a place like this, Kendra admits. The best food is in neighborhoods where people live.
He pours her tea.
Tell me about Lagos. Your family. So she does. Her mother the nurse, her father who teaches math, her sister Ada who wants to be a doctor. Growing up in a crowded neighborhood where everyone knew everyone. The pressure to succeed, to justify their sacrifices. I'm the first in my family to go to university, she says. The first to leave Nigeria. They're all counting on me. That's a lot of pressure. It drives me, makes me work harder. She pauses. What about you? Minjun is quiet. Lonely, he says finally. My father was brilliant but distant. He cared more about business than family. My mother sees me as an extension of the company. He looks up. She picked my university, my friends, tried to pick my wife. I don't want a life someone else designed. Is that why you hired me? Rebellion? I hired you because you're brilliant and you don't take nonsense. If that drives my mother crazy, he grins, that's a bonus. They talk for hours until the owner suggests they leave before midnight. Outside, the October air is crisp. I should get you home, Minjun says. His driver is waiting. They sit in comfortable silence, and when they reach her building, he walks her to the door. Thank you, she says. For dinner. For listening. Thank you for coming. He looks like he wants to say more. See you tomorrow? Tomorrow. But neither moves. They stand in the light from the entrance, looking at each other. Kendra, he says softly. I meant what I said. I'm not pushing. But when I'm with you, I feel like I can be honest. That's not something I've had. Her heart pounds. Minjun. You don't have to say anything. He steps back. Good night. She watches him leave, her mind spinning. The next week is torture. They're both trying to be professional, but the tension is electric. Every meeting, every late night, every touch, it builds until Kendra feels like she might combust. Then comes the business trip to Busan. Han Hospitality is opening a resort on Haeundae Beach. Minjun needs to be there for inspections and launch. As his assistant, Kendra goes too. 3 days. In a beach resort. Separate rooms. Mi-young assures her. Adjacent, the suite and connecting room for easy access. Of course. Connecting rooms. The train ride is quiet. Minjun works while Kendra reviews schedules. They barely speak, but she's hyper-aware of his knee occasionally brushing hers. The resort is stunning, glass and white stone on a cliff over the ocean. When Kendra sees the connecting door between rooms, her mouth goes dry. I'll keep it locked, Minjun says from behind her, voice low. Unless you don't want me to. She turns. He's standing in the doorway, watching with intensity. Minjun. I know, he says. I know all the reasons this is complicated. But Kendra, I can't stop thinking about you. About us. I'm afraid of losing everything, Kendra says quietly. If this ends badly, I would never let that happen. I'd make sure you were taken care of. Don't you see? You have all the power. You decide if I keep my job, stay in Korea. How can this be equal? You're right. He steps closer. And I don't have a good answer except, when I'm with you, I don't feel powerful. I feel vulnerable. You could destroy me just as easily. That's not true. It is.
He's close now.
You could quit tomorrow and I'd be lost. You could say you don't feel this and it would break me. You have more power than you realize. Her breath catches. Minjun. Tell me you don't feel it too, he says softly. Tell me I'm imagining this, and I'll never mention it again. She should lie. But she can't. I can't tell you that, she whispers. Because it would be a lie. His exhale is shaky. Kendra. But I'm still scared. I know.
So am I.
He reaches up, cupping her face. So, let's be scared together. When he kisses her, it's soft and careful. But Kendra has never felt stronger. She kisses him back, hands fisting in his shirt. He deepens it, backing her against the wall, and everything else fades. When they pull apart, breathing hard, he rests his forehead against hers. We should talk about this. Tomorrow, Kendra decides. Tonight, just stay? So he does. They lie on her bed fully clothed, talking and kissing until dawn. Minjun tells her about the pressure of running his father's company, his dreams of sustainable tourism, how lonely it's been. Kendra talks about her family, the weight of being the one who got out, her dreams of running her own business someday. You will, Minjun says. You're brilliant. You could run circles around half my team. Your team hates me. They're intimidated. There's a difference. He kisses her temple. You're going to be amazing. As sunrise paints the sky pink and gold, Kendra lets herself believe it might work. But reality crashes back the next day. The launch party is packed. Kendra stays in the background, managing logistics. But she feels the stares, hears the whispers. The foreign assistant suddenly on a trip with the CEO. Quite cozy, aren't you? Ji-won appears behind her. You and Minjun. I'm his assistant. I go where he needs me. Is that what you call it? Ji-won's smile is cold. You should know, his mother called me. She's concerned about the company's reputation. She steps closer. Your phase. A novelty. But Minjun knows where he belongs. You'll just be another employee who overstepped. Excuse me. Kendra starts to walk away. I'm trying to help. His mother will destroy you to protect this company. Save yourself and step aside. Kendra pulls free. I can take care of myself. But Ji-won's words echo all day. By sunset, Kendra has a pounding headache and growing dread. Minjun finds her on the beach, watching waves. There you are. Are you okay? Ji-won was here. His expression darkens. What did she say? The truth. About your mother disapproving. About how I'm a phase. About how this ends badly. Kendra. She's not wrong, is she? Kendra turns. I saw how people looked at us today. Your executives are already assuming the worst. I don't care what they think, but I do. Her voice cracks. My visa depends on this job. My future depends on my reputation. If people think I slept my way in, then they're idiots. It doesn't matter what's true. It matters what people believe.
She stands.
Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe we moved too fast. Don't do this. Minjun catches her hand. Don't let them make you afraid. I'm already afraid. I'm afraid of losing my job, my visa, my reputation. And I'm afraid of, she stops. Of what? Of falling in love with you only to lose you anyway. The words hang between them. Minjun's grip tightens. You won't lose me, he says fiercely. I'm falling in love with you too. And I know that's terrifying, but I won't give up on us. You might not have a choice. If your mother decides I'm bad for business. My mother doesn't control me. Are you sure? Kendra pulls free. You're CEO of a family business worth billions. Your mother is board chairman. There will always be pressure to choose the company over us. So you're choosing for me? Deciding it's not worth the fight? I'm being realistic. You're being a coward. The words hit like a slap. How dare you? You stood up to me in that restaurant. You challenged me in front of executives. You've never been afraid except of this. His eyes blaze. I fell in love with your courage.
Don't lose it now.
It's not courage you need. It's common sense. We come from different worlds. You're Korean royalty. I'm a Nigerian immigrant on a visa. You have an ex-fiancé your mother approves of. This isn't a fairy tale. Is that what you think? That I'm slumming it? No, tears spill over. I know you care. But caring isn't enough when everyone's telling you we don't fit. I don't care what the world thinks. You should. Because I do. She wipes her eyes. I think we need to go back to being professional. Just colleagues. She walks away before he can respond, before she can see his face, before she changes her mind. In her room, she locks the connecting door and cries, hating herself for hurting him, hating the world for making this impossible. The next morning, they take the train back in silence. Minjun is professionally distant, and Kendra tells herself this is what she needed. But it feels like dying. Back at the office, they fall into a new routine. Purely professional. Minjun is polite but cold. Kendra throws herself into work, staying late, taking on extra projects, anything to avoid thinking about how Minjun won't look at her anymore. 2 weeks pass. Then a month. The pain doesn't fade. Then she's called into Chairman Han's office. Seo-yeon sits behind a massive desk. Ms. Okafor.
Sit.
Kendra sits, heart pounding. This is it. She's being fired. I'll be direct, Seo-yeon says. My son is miserable. That's not what Kendra expected. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure. Don't play coy. I'm not blind. Seo-yeon's gaze is sharp. I've watched him for 6 weeks. Distracted, short-tempered, exhausted. But before Busan, he was happy. For the first time since his father died. Chairman Han. I don't like you, Seo-yeon continues bluntly. You're not Korean, not from our world, no connections or money. On paper, you're the worst match. Kendra's hands clench. But Seo-yeon stands. I've also watched you work. The Grand Pearl's retention is up 40% since Minjun restructured based on your suggestions. Customer satisfaction is at all-time highs. And when he talks about the future, he sounds excited instead of burdened. She faces Kendra. I raised Minjun to put company first. But since you came, he's been pushing back, fighting for what he wants. I thought that was a problem. Now I think it's exactly what he needs. I don't understand. I'm giving you my blessing. Whatever is happening between you and my son, I won't stand in the way. Kendra's jaw drops. You're what? I'm not happy about it. Ji-won would be more suitable. But suitability isn't everything. Seo-yeon's expression softens. Minjun's father and I had an arranged marriage. We built success together, but we were never happy. I don't want that for Minjun. He ended things. We both did. Love is always complicated. The question is whether it's worth it. Seo-yun returns to her desk. That's for you to answer. But I suggest you answer soon. Watching my son pretend he doesn't care is painful for everyone. When Kendra leaves, her mind reels. Minjun's mother, the woman she thought would destroy her, just gave them her blessing. But does it matter? The power imbalance, the gossip, the complications haven't changed. Except maybe they have. Maybe with Seo-yun on their side, the challenges don't seem insurmountable. Her phone buzzes. Mi-young. Need you in conference room. Emergency board meeting. Kendra splashes water on her face and heads there. The entire board is assembled, Seo-yun at the head, executives on either side, Minjun at the presentation screen looking serious. Ms. Okafor, take notes, Seo-yun says. Kendra sits. Minjun doesn't look at her. Thank you for coming, Minjun begins. I've called this meeting to present a new direction. He clicks the first slide. A comprehensive sustainability and community investment program. He goes through it, plans for carbon-neutral properties within 5 years, programs to hire and train local communities, environmental partnerships. It's ambitious, expensive, and completely characteristic of the Minjun she knows, someone who wants to build something meaningful. But the board is unimpressed. This will cost billions, one executive says. Shareholders won't accept it. It's not an expense, it's an investment, Minjun counters. The industry is changing. Customers care about sustainability. That's theory, another says. We can't risk our stability on theories. It's not theory. I have data. We've seen your data. We haven't seen proof this will work. You're asking us to gamble billions on unproven concepts. I'm asking you to think about the future instead of quarterly earnings, Minjun says, frustrated. My grandfather built this on innovation. My father expanded through risks. I'm trying to take it further, but you're all too afraid to change. We're not afraid. We're cautious. Is there a difference? Because from here, it looks like fear of anything that doesn't fit how we've always done things. Minjun, Seo-yun's voice is sharp. Remember who you're speaking to. I know exactly, he stops, collecting himself. I apologize. That was out of line. Quite, the older executive says. Perhaps you need more time. More evidence. I've spent months. Then a few more won't hurt. I move we table this until next quarterly meeting. Seconded. Seo-yun looks at Minjun. All in favor? Every hand goes up except Minjun's. Motion carries. We'll revisit in 3 months. Adjourned. The board files out, leaving Minjun at the screen, shoulders tight. Kendra hesitates, then approaches. That was good, she says quietly. Not good enough. He gathers materials, not looking at her. Another failure. It wasn't a failure. They're scared. You're asking them to change everything. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm in over my head. He laughs bitterly. My father knew how to play the game. I just thought I could do things differently. You can. You are. Am I? He finally looks at her, pain in his eyes. All I do is push away people who matter and fail at things that should. He's not just talking about the board. Minjun. I should go. Thank you for the notes, Ms. Okafor. Please send the summary to my email. He leaves. Kendra stands alone, heartbreaking. That night, she can't sleep. She keeps replaying it. Seo-yun's blessing, Minjun's passionate presentation, the defeat in his voice. Around 2 a.m., she gives up and pulls out her laptop. She opens the presentation Minjun shared weeks ago, when they were still partners. She reads his sustainability plans, his vision. Suddenly, she knows what to do. She works through the night, pulling data from industry reports, finding case studies of successful implementations, calculating ROI. By sunrise, she has a 30-page addendum, everything the board needed. At 7 a.m., she emails it to Minjun. For what it's worth, I believe in your vision. K. Half an hour later, her phone rings. Kendra. His voice is rough. What is this? Evidence. Data. What the board needed. You did this in one night? I couldn't sleep. And I wanted to help. Why? Because what you're building matters. Because you're right. Because she swallows. Because I still believe in you, even if we can't be together. Heavy silence. Then, can I see you?
Please.
Not at the office. Somewhere we can talk. They meet at the Samjitang restaurant in Insadong, same private room. I've been a fool, Minjun says before she sits. These past weeks, staying away, trying to forget, I've been miserable. And I made you miserable. I'm sorry. I should apologize. I was scared, so I ran. You were right to be scared. Everything you said about complications, it's true. But your mother. I know. She told me. Minjun takes her hand. But even without her blessing, I should have fought harder. I talked her too. She said love is complicated, and the question is whether it's worth it. She looks up. I think it is. I think you are. Hope breaks through his exhaustion. Kendra. I love you, she says, words finally free. I love your passion, your vision, your determination. I love how you see me, challenge me, make me braver. And I'm tired of being scared. He's around the table instantly, pulling her up, kissing her like he's starved. Kendra kisses back, pouring everything into it. When they break apart, he rests his forehead on hers. We'll figure it out, he promises. Together.
Together.
But Minjun, I can't be your assistant anymore. Not if we're doing this. I know. I've talked to Mi-young about creating strategic development director for you. Same salary, same benefits, but you report to the board. No power imbalance. You planned that before we got back together? Weeks ago, when I was trying to get over you. He smiles. Turns out I'm very bad at that. Good. Because I'm very bad at getting over you too. They stay for hours, planning how to navigate their relationship publicly, handle gossip, prove Kendra earned her position through merit. It won't be easy. There will be whispers, judgment. But as Kendra looks at Minjun, sees how he's looking at her, she knows it's worth it. 6 months later, Kendra stands before the same board that dismissed Minjun's proposal. But now she's not taking notes. She's presenting. As you can see, she says, clicking slides, companies investing in sustainable practices see average ROI increase of 35% over 5 years. Customer loyalty among 25 to 40 demographics, our target, increases 60%. The executives are engaged now. Even the older man is taking notes. The question isn't whether we can afford these changes, Kendra continues. It's whether we can afford not to. The industry is evolving. Han Hospitality can lead or be left behind. Silence. Then Seo Yun speaks. I move we approve the sustainability initiative with 5-year timeline and 4 billion won budget. Seconded. All in favor? Every hand goes up. Motion carries unanimously. Well done, Director Okafor. After the meeting, Minjun catches her in the hallway, pulling her into an empty conference room and kissing her breathless. You were amazing, he says against her lips. We were amazing. It was your vision. You made it better. You make everything better. He kisses her again. I love you. I love you too. A knock. Mi-young stands there, amused. Sorry to interrupt, but journalists are here for the press conference. They want to know about our new sustainability director and her relationship with the CEO. Kendra and Minjun exchange a look. They'd agreed to go public after the vote. Ready? Minjun asks, offering his hand. Kendra takes it. Ready. They walk into the press conference together, hand in hand. Let people talk. Kendra has spent her life proving herself. She's not stopping now. She answers questions about the initiative, her qualifications, her vision. And when someone asks about her relationship with Minjun, she doesn't flinch. Yes, we're together, she says simply. But I earned this position based on my work, my education, my abilities. Anyone who questions that is welcome to review my proposal, my academic record, or the results I've delivered. Minjun squeezes her hand, pride clear. After, they're exhausted but exhilarated. Minjun's driver takes them not to the office but to Houndy Beach, to the resort where they first admitted their feelings. I have a surprise, Minjun says, leading her to the cliff. There, on the spot where they'd had that painful conversation, is a small table set for two, candles flickering, champagne chilling. Minjun, Kendra breathes. What is this? A celebration. Of you, of us, of everything we've fought for.
He pulls out her chair.
And maybe something more. They eat and talk and watch the sunset. When the sky is full of stars, Minjun takes both her hands. Kendra Okafor, he says. You walked into my life insulting me in a restaurant, and you've been challenging me ever since. You're brilliant, brave, stubborn, and impossible to forget. You've changed my company, my vision, my understanding of what's possible. He pulls out a small box, opening it to reveal a simple, elegant diamond ring. And I want to spend the rest of my life being challenged by you. Will you marry me? Kendra's vision blurs with tears. She thinks about everything they've been through, the obstacles, the pain of staying apart. She thinks about her family in Lagos, about the girl who left with nothing but dreams. She thinks about the future they could build together. Yes, she says, laughing through tears. Yes, of course, yes. Minjun slides the ring on and kisses her as the ocean crashes below and stars will overhead. And Kendra thinks about how she came to Seoul to build a career, to prove herself. She never expected to find love. She never expected a partner who would challenge her to be braver, fight harder, believe in impossible things. But standing here in Minjun's arms, with his ring on her finger, she's grateful for every difficult moment that led here. Grateful for the rude customer, for the courage to stand up, for the fear that almost drove them apart, and the love that brought them back. I love you, she whispers. I love you too. And I can't wait to spend the rest of my life proving it. 3 months later, they marry in a ceremony blending Korean and Nigerian traditions. Kendra wears a hanbok for the Paebik ceremony. Minjun wears traditional Nigerian attire for the second. Both families are there. Her mother and sister flew from Lagos, and even Seo-yeon is smiling, though she still makes comments about how unorthodox it is. Jiwon doesn't attend but sends crystal champagne flutes with a note. Congratulations. You won. Kendra throws the note away and keeps the gift. At the reception, Minjun gives a speech that makes her cry. I used to think love was supposed to be easy, he says, looking at her. That the right person would fit perfectly, without effort. But Kendra taught me the best things are worth fighting for. She fought for her education, her career, her right to respect. And when it came to us, she made me fight too, to be worthy of her, to build something that could withstand obstacles. He raises his glass. To my brilliant, beautiful, stubborn wife. Thank you for never letting me take the easy way out. Applause and cheers. Kendra joins him, and he kisses her in front of everyone, families, colleagues, friends. Let them see. This is real. This is worth fighting for. This is love. Years later, when people ask how they got together, Kendra tells the truth. It started with an insult in a restaurant and almost ended before it began. But somewhere between those points, they found something worth fighting for. A partnership built on mutual respect, shared vision, and the courage to believe in impossible things. Every morning when she wakes beside her husband, when she goes to work developing programs that change lives, when she challenges him and he challenges her back, she's grateful for that rude customer in a worn hoodie who turned her world upside down. Because sometimes the best love stories start with the worst first impressions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed Kendra and Minjun's story, please leave a like and subscribe for more romance stories. Drop a comment below with your favorite moment.